Hey, what's up, everybody? This is swgg on Swagger Gaming, bringing you another World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth beta first look video. Today we will be looking at the Beast Mastery Hunter. Please remember that everything in this video is from the beta test server and is subject to change. I will do my best to keep up with any changes made to the spec in the description and comment sections of this video. Overall, Beast Mastery Hunters don't play that differently, but they have had some baseline abilities switched around and most of the talent trees shaken up. Out of all three Hunter specs, BM felt the best in terms of focus generation and consistent damage output. Dire Beast was the only ability that was removed from the Beast Mastery Hunter baseline spellbook, and was actually moved to the talent tree and reworked. I'll get more into those changes when we go over the talents later in this video. To replace Dire Beast in the rotation, a new ability called Barb Shot becomes available at level 12. Like the old Dire Beast, this is an instant cast ability with 2 charges on a 12-second recharge time. Barb Shot applies an 8-second damage over time effect and sends your pet into a frenzy, increasing attack speed by 30% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Barb Shot also generates 20 focus over 8 seconds. Intimidation has now been moved from the talent tree to a baseline ability and remains unchanged, providing a 5-second pet stun on a 1-minute cooldown. The last new baseline ability is Command Pet. This is the same ability that marksmanship and survival hunters get, and changes depending on your current pet specialization. Cobra Shot has had its focus cost reduced to 45 from 50 baseline, but otherwise is unchanged. Note with the same 10 focus reduction passive ability, Cobra Shot will effectively have a 35 focus cost. The Wild Call passive now works with Barb Shot instead of Dire Beast, and still gives auto attacks a 20% chance to reset the cooldown. Aspect of the Wild has had its level requirement upped to 40 from 26, and has been slightly changed. It now gives 5 focus per second instead of 10, but has had its duration increased to 20 seconds up from 10. The 10% critical strike bonus remains the same. Bestial Wrath is now available 20 levels earlier and has had its cooldown reduction trigger changed from Dire Beast to Barb Shot, but otherwise remains unchanged. The Beast Cleave passive ability has been nerfed from 100% cleave damage after multi-shot to 75%. The duration and range of the cleave are the same. Lastly, the passive ability to tame exotic pets has had its level requirement increased from level 10 to 65. This obviously won't affect you endgame, but is a bummer for leveling or twinking. There were quite a few changes to the talent tree for Beast Mastery Hunters. It appears Blizzard wants to give players a couple different options when playing BM, including the classic kill command / pet based build, and a more Barb Shot centric build. The Tier 1 talent row has had all 3 current talents removed, and 2 brand new talents introduced, with Dire Beast filling in the last spot. Killer Instincts is the first new talent and causes your kill command to deal 50% increased damage against enemies below 35% health. This is a cool little executability I can see being used in certain specific situations. The next new ability in Tier 1 is Animal Companion. This essentially replaces Haste from our artifact weapon and causes Call Pet to additionally summon the first pet from your stable. Note that the extra pet will obey your kill command, but cannot use pet family abilities. Dire Beast is the last talent on this tier, and it still summons a powerful wild beast to attack your target for 8 seconds. However, they've put this on a straight 15-second cooldown, removed the second charge, and it now costs 25 focus instead of generating focus over its duration. For Tier 2, Stomp was moved out and Dire Frenzy was removed from the game. Chimera Shot is still in this row and remains unchanged. One with the Pack was moved in from Tier 4 and slightly nerfed. It now works with Barb Shot instead of Dire Beast, and has had its extra reset chance reduced from 30 to 20%. Sense of Blood is the new talent in this row, and it makes Barb Shot generate 8 additional focus over its duration. Tier 3 continues to have Trailblazer, which is unchanged. Post Haste has been switched out to Tier 5 and replaced by Camouflage, which works exactly the same as the Marksmanship and Survival versions. Farstrider has been removed from the game and replaced by Natural Mending, which is a new talent that reduces the cooldown of Exhilaration by 1 second for every 30 focus spent. Note that this is higher than the 20 focus requirement for the other 2 Hunter specs. Tier 4 has seen Bestial Fury and Blink Strikes removed from the game, and one with the Pack switched out to Tier 2. Instead, we get a Murder of Crows from Tier 6, which is unchanged, and 2 brand new talents. The first new talent is Venomous Bite, which makes your Cobra Shot reduce the cooldown of Bestial Wrath by 1 second. Thrill of the Hunt is the last talent in this row, and makes your Barb Shot increase your critical strike chance by 3% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Tier 5 still has Binding Shot, which is the same, but Intimidation has been moved to a baseline talent and Wyvern Sting was removed from the spec entirely. Post Haste was moved in from tier 3 and has had its speed boost component nerfed from 60% for 5 seconds to 50% for 4 seconds. Born to be Wild is a new ability that gives your Aspect of the Cheetah and Aspect of the Turtle a baseline 20% cooldown reduction. In tier 6, a Murder of Crows has been moved out and Volley has been removed from the spec, but Barrage remains and is unchanged. Stomp was moved in from tier 2 and Stampede was moved in from tier 7. Both remain unchanged from live servers. Tier 7 still has both Killer Cobra and Aspect of the Beast. Killer Cobra is the same, but Aspect of the Beast was simplified. It now increases the damage of your pet's abilities by 30% and increases the effectiveness of your pet's Predator Thirst, Endurance Training, and Pathfinding passives by 50%. The last talent in this tier is Spitting Cobra, which has been ported over from the Survival Hunter. This ability is on a 1.5 minute cooldown and summons a Spitting Cobra for 20 seconds that attacks for nature damage and grants 2 focus per second. As stated above, Beast Mastery Hunter was probably the smoothest hunter spec to play, and I ran into very few focus issues. The damage seemed on par with the other 2 specs as well. Overall, hunters feel like they are in a good place, but we will see what happens in a full-on raiding environment. My one concern for BM is if the barb shot talents can't compete with the more pet-centric ones, we may see another X-Pack full of kill command spam, which does not make for super engaging gameplay. Well, that's all I have for you on the Beast Mastery Hunter. Please let me know what class and spec you would like to see next down in the comments below, and I will push it to the top of the list. If you like this video, please think about hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel for more gaming content. Thanks for watching and have a great one.